The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to First Impressions.
Yes!
Hello. It's been a while.
It has been quite some time.
Been a while.
I'm very excited for this one. Unlike the last writer we did. Kamen Rider Revice. Revi and Vice. First, we gotta talk about that opening. I love it.
I like the song, I don't like the opening.
Yeah, I'm in that
The
camp.
visuals do not match this song at all.
I'm getting the feeling that some of those visuals, especially the ones with the family at the beginning, it's as the show moves along, it's going to end up moving further into that latter half of it where it got so dark. But yeah, I really like that song.
It's a great song.
It's a good song, yeah.
It sounds like, for those of you who know the group BAP, RE and BAP, yeah, it sounds like something that came off of the album Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really like this song, especially coming off of last year's, which was garbage. Yeah,
I'm with Jacob. I think the song is great, but I think the visuals...
It's a problem that I have with a lot, by that I mean pretty much all Toku openings, is that the song might be good in some cases, but the visuals never seem to match. They seem to be... It feels like they're under-stylized. They're trying to create like a cool, memorable opening sequence, but it's just like...
They're not trying hard enough.
It's just images of stuff.
It's just that first
that doesn't
half,
really meld with the visuals.
That feels like such a fake out. Like that first half of it, where it's just with the family in the sauna.
I think one of the reasons is because the music is very sinister, and they're all just smiling
into
the camera,
which makes me think something is going to happen to make this first half. Because I mean, writer openings have changed, over time. You know, as the show goes along. Darker
we'll see new characters in the opening or whatnot.
Yeah, and then that last half where you see like, Ikki in the like the suit wiping something off of his face, like that happens in the latter part of it where it's just like a whole bunch of fire and death and destruction. I'm just like, I feel like that's going to be expanded. That first half is going to go away.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
So yeah, it made quite an impression. I heard the song first, and I was just like, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
let's go.
He texted it to me, and I was like, "That's an amazing song." And then I watched the episode, and I went, "That kind of ruins the song for me." Like
they didn't use it until episode 2. I think this works better as an insert song than Saber's ever did. Because Saber's, anyway, that's what I was happy about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Neither here nor there.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Anyway, onto the show proper. Let's just talk about what we liked and didn't like.
You don't want to go episode by episode?
Nah.
Okay.
I feel like we could just...
I think it's fine if we do it this way.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think we could just
there are a number of things I like. I like the kind of character-driven plot that they seem to have. They're building up between Ikki and his siblings.
Yeah.
Specifically his brother.
Yeah.
I definitely am curious to see where that goes. I like some of the monster designs, mainly the generals when they're in their monster form.
Oh, yeah. The regular monsters look like origami, strangely enough.
I can kind of see that.
Where they're like sort of really blocky, and I really appreciate that.
I mean, that's what some origami looks like if you've ever seen like really elaborate ones where it's like layers and layers and layers of folded paper.
And when you think about it, it's probably on purpose because they're making a contract, so the contract's being folded into the monster.
That's what happens with the monsters when they transform.
I really appreciate how much the aesthetic. I don't like the bottom of it because
it's just blank.
Yeah,
it's very top heavy designs.
But I appreciate what they're doing at the top, and I also like the mooks that we're getting, the minions.
Oh yeah,
we actually have minions again.
The minions look good. I like the minions.
They had them last season. Actually, they've had them pretty much every season in this era.
And the last one I watched was Zeo, and they weren't in that.
Yeah, they were in 01. They were in Saber.
Because they weren't in that, and they weren't in Build, and were they in X-A?
Yeah.
Okay.
The turkey heads.
Right. How could I forget?
I'm just really appreciating this show. I was so worried coming into it.
I'm still worried.
Off of last year. This one is just like, all right, I can see sort of where the story wants to go here.
I can see this. I can see where the story wants to go, but it doesn't necessarily mean the story will go there.
Yeah.
And there are parts of the story that
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Do not like. I think Vice is a little too much.
Honestly, I don't mind him.
I think he's at like a 12, and I need to dial it back to like a 9.
Yeah.
He can be extra. He can be funny. I like that he breaks the fourth wall. But
I find his line delivery to be very monotonous.
Same.
It's the same delivery every time.
But I feel like that's on purpose to a degree.
I don't think it's a good choice.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
just every line is just like shouting and this and that, and then it's just every line. It's like maybe tone it down for 1 or 2. You need levels.
Yeah.
Give him some levels.
I do like the fact that it breaks the fourth wall, and they do bring it up every now and then.
Yeah,
like in the first episode, he's like, "Who are you talking to?"
I like how they cut to it. It's like he's talking. He's breaking the fourth wall, talking to the camera. They cut to a different angle,
and he's just looking off to the side.
And he's just like looking off this way, and it's like, wait, who are you?
Before we get into the more heavy stuff, I'm really enjoying the fight scenes in this.
I like some of the camera angles we're getting.
Yeah, they're once again using a lot of drone work.
Yeah,
that fight in the first episode. Where
at one point, I thought they just wanted to show the drone they were filming with, and then they revealed that it was actually a drone in the show. And I'm like,
yeah, they actually showed that it was an actual drone. In
episode
filming
2.
them. I was just like, that's great. There was a scene in episode 1 where like a minion was just on the wall and there was a breakaway behind him.
Yep.
So you actually really got that impact when Remy kicked him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
I really like.
There was a scene there was a moment I should say in the first episode where he does a straight up like fighting game double kick.
Yeah,
like a spinning double kick at the monster, and I thought that was really cool.
Also, that rider kick.
I think it was. The dual rider kick.
The dual rider kick in episode 1.
It's alright.
I thought that was I just really liked it. I thought it was cool.
I think it was episode 3 when the angle. Sorry, they were filming during his henshin was in the driver, like where the stamp was. That was creative. I kind of liked that.
Speaking of creative, I really like the cell phone conversation that's happening behind him the entire time.
I don't get it.
I love it.
Hold on. Oh, the text conversation?
That is such a strange choice.
I don't like that.
It's supposed to be I can't remember. It's something Japanese, especially doing with the stamps.
Oh, I'm sure it is, because the show is Japanese.
No, it's just like, it's something intrinsically Japanese. That's why the stamps are such a big thing.
I get the stamps.
Because it's like supposed to show, especially on a map, where they are, and like the stamps are supposed to signify this is where we are right now. So it makes sense in that's
like, hey, we're here fighting monsters.
Pretty much. And the stamp signifies exactly.
It's your boy Revice coming at you live from Instagram.
Yeah,
here at the park fighting monsters
online.
I do like how in the first couple episodes, like I think it was the second episode where his dad comes out to tell him that there's an attack happening because it's live on Twitter or something. Yeah. Which is
a lot of use of social media in this one. I'm enjoying it.
It's a smart use of social media. I definitely love what they're doing with the brother. Especially that moment where he saw the other driver and he's just like, "Can I use this?" And
George is like, "Haha, no."
And the commander's like, "You are not. First of all, this is not the place for your petty family squabbles.
Second of all, we saw what happened in the first episode. You a punk ass bitch. Get this thing to your brother. Go on."
Your job is to provide support to the real character.
Exactly.
I like the sister too.
If she does not transform during this show, I'm going to be upset. She was out there just beating everybody's ass. Pretty much every time somebody stepped to her, she said, "Oh, you're stepping to me.
You're about to step off.
You're about to step
this mortal coil.
This cliff."
I'm going to kick you off.
I actually like the whole family. I love
that. That is one of the things I liked. Is this is something we rarely see this in Toku, but it's the full family. We have both parents and we have siblings and we have our hero who is part of this family.
And it's everybody. You can kind of see their family squabbles and it's comedic. The dad.
The actors all have good chemistry.
Oh, absolutely.
The actors have good chemistry. I think they're well written.
The dad's obsessed with getting a world record in whatever.
Almost signing over.
He's all about just getting those likes on YouTube.
I like the fucking. I kind of smirked at the first joke where he's like, "Do you know how where he's like the longest jump roping session was like 10,000? How many did you get?"
Two. And his wife is just, "You're the best, honey.
You're doing it."
God.
There was a joke at the dinner scene that I really liked where the daughter is like, "Oh, mom, why'd you have to marry such a weirdo?"
And Dad was like, "You used to tell me.
You used to tell me you wanted to marry me when you were little." And she's like, "No, I didn't. That's stupid." He's
I
like,
have
"Really?
the video."
I've got video evidence," and I loved that line.
All the video. Honestly,
shall I get the baby pictures and embarrass you?
So apparently, especially because the way that they presented it in the show with the dead men, like the monsters that end up coming out of them, or at least some of the demons that sort of inhabit them, are supposed to exacerbate the feelings that they have.
Mm-hmm. The negative.
It's inner demons,
and
it's because the opening scene of the show, or like the second scene, I should say, we're in this big like rave party of sorts where it's just all these people are
getting
in a room
getting
stamped, and they're saying,
which is also a clever joke because you get the stamp when you go into a
club. And you got the two guys up front yelling, get rid of all that fake inner happiness, take off the mask, and unleash your inner demons.
I'm a matador.
One of them, we have like a matador, a mariachi, and a flamenco dancer.
The mariachi is a little jarring. It's the hat.
It's the hat. It's the hat. The hat's so big. But I brought that up specifically because Vice and how he's family.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
more than once.
Yeah, I'm just like, he has some animosity.
And then it wasn't because in the second episode, I like that scene where it's like, okay, so I'm gonna let this monster kill me.
Yeah.
So that you stop trying to eat my family and other people.
I do love that scene where he was just like, then I'll keep fighting like this.
Talk shit, get hit.
Till I die.
Till I die, and then you die. So stop acting like a bastard.
But yeah, it's just like, since he's supposed to exacerbate, I'm saying like he must have some legitimate animosity towards his family, especially after giving up his whole soccer dream.
No, his brother gave up his soccer dream.
No,
he's talking about. No,
it was the brother saying that to him?
That was the younger brother.
I thought it was the other way around.
That was the younger brother saying, you gave up your dreams.
I thought the guy who worked for them was the older brother.
The older brother is Iki.
Oh, Iki's the oldest?
Iki is the oldest.
Okay. Sorry. They were off screen. They weren't on screen when that line was said, so I didn't really know who was saying it to who. But that does make sense because of the opening scene where he's kicking the buckets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that whole, especially... That's going to come up again.
The sister is
karate
champion in karate. We have the younger brother who is like the youngest person to become a captain on this new
rising through the ranks
on this new squad. And then we have the oldest son, our protagonist, who is helping out the family business and
gave up his
as
dream.
We have been told, gave up his dream of he could have gone pro. They say in professional soccer, but he's stuck helping out at the bathhouse.
So I'm sitting here like, I love that. And I feel like they're going to end up coming back to it a couple times, especially from what we saw in like the opening visuals. They're going to come back to
that. Could that be the start where the inner demon starts?
Yeah.
That's what gave birth to what's his name?
Vice.
Is it just Vice?
Yeah.
Revice and Vice.
Okay, so that's what gave birth to Vice was that animosity is what could.
I liked the doctor.
Not necessarily what it would.
The weird doctor.
You're talking about the guy with like the kanji like etched into his head?
Yeah,
George.
In his random English.
Hey. I was like, I love this man. 10 out of 10. Yeah. He's so good.
And I just love the fact he's like, at the very beginning, he's like, we will prepare. You're taking too long.
It's like, I don't got time.
Let me show you my new gaming PC.
Exactly. We got a gaming PC. We got everything.
It looks like a gaming PC.
To be fair,
I was.
The chassis is...
I figured as much. So was the interior. You look into that.
It looks good. It's a good use.
Somebody found the price.
This is the kind of thing Henry Cavill would build on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's an expensive. Yeah. It's an expensive computer. Too.
That they just break.
Well, in case of emergency break.
Yes. What? Honestly, I really like. I get so much more from this show, and especially because the writer's new. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a lot more from this show in the first couple episodes.
My favorite part of the entire 3 episodes that have come up thus far is how he figures out the axe is also a gun.
Oh!
And the Munchkin is just like,
oh, why?
And he's like,
if the monster looks at it, and it looks at him, it looks back, and he's like,
he's like, it's a gun! This is awesome. I died. He literally just went, oh. It was so funny.
It really reminded me of those first couple episodes in Kaiju.
Yeah.
But it was in those. It was purposeful.
Yeah.
The fact that this was an accident made it that much more hilarious.
Well, to be fair, some of those are also an accident.
No,
he was like, "Oh, what is it?"
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I more prefer the first episode. It's like, where are you gonna shoot you? Duh.
I'm really enjoying this. These first
there are some parts I don't like though.
What is?
There's actually a lot that I don't like.
The CGI.
It's going to be gone sooner rather than later.
I know.
I'm fine with that.
Specifically when they combine to make whatever animal they are, it just doesn't look good to me. Like even design wise.
I'm just not a fan of the henshin sequence.
I really like
among other things.
The only part of the henshin sequence I don't like is the text background.
Vice stamping him with the giant stamp. I like that.
It's the text
I am not a fan of the text thing.
I'm a fan of the text.
I don't know how much I like Vice waving around in the background like one of those balloon men you see outside of a car dealership.
Waving and playing the arm flute men.
That's the technical term. I apologize for misnaming them.
I do like the attention to detail when he's in his like ghostly form. You can see the trail always go back to Icky.
I also really enjoy the forms that we've gotten so far.
Why do we have to get so many forms so fast?
Because this is the anniversary.
I don't care.
Too bad.
I don't care.
Too bad it was going to happen.
At least it wasn't when he got first episode.
When he got thrown that stamp in the second episode, I was just like, oh no, come on.
I mean, it was going to happen. That's right or not?
No, you didn't have to do it. You could have been better, but you didn't.
They had 30-something stamps they have to do in this show.
But he said they don't have to have.
Get your wallet out, kids.
Yeah.
Or should I say, beg your parents.
Like, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but at least the forms look good.
I disagree completely.
I think they look good too.
I don't like the suits in this show.
I do.
And a big part of it is the colors.
I don't like
hate the colors they use in the show. It's not necessarily that it's pink, purple, and blue. I don't mind that. The shades that they are using are so washed
pastel.
out.
They are very pastel.
No, they are washed out. They look washed out. Like they've been run through the wash too many times and they've been left out to dry.
I don't mind the colors in terms of the base suit. I mind the giant T-Rex smile. That's a bit off-putting.
Oh, I love that. Though.
Especially when he's trying to be like serious. And all I can see is a smile.
But it's so weirdly threatening. For how
it's a very sinister smile.
Yeah. It's very big.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of Vice's suit.
I don't like anything I don't like
where it's just like the mouth and then like a scarf and then just a black suit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
I don't
like shoulder pads or arm pad, like in episode 3 he gets the
but I love the Mastodon one for Dino. It's because it just looks like it so much in the face.
You talking about Revice?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That one just looks good. Plus, that finisher where you just basically turn into the drives rider kick.
With
2 boomerangs.
And portals.
Again, like the suits, Revice in particular, like Revice suits are okay, but I hate the color. They look so washed out.
His hawk form looked good with W.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of them yoga posing on top of each other to make an animal.
I mean, that's going to disappear, so I don't really care. The CGI is going to end up disappearing.
I mean, we had them doing the yoga poses in Kira Major to make kanji, so...
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
But they only do that for just, the pose. This one they're doing for an eventual CGI thing, which is just per writer, is going to go away. So I don't really care about it that much.
I definitely... The third episode, I think, was the best out of the 3.
I agree. Neither one of the other two were bad.
Especially since it set up the sister's friend being with the... Cause
when Iki first sees her, he's like, oh.
Yo.
Just like...
I'm not going to lie. I thought of you and I went, oh, Marcus is done with this show. Heterosexual relationships.
I just love it because he tried to be so cool and so suave. And it didn't work because the sister was out there doing all the work per usual.
I like the main characters and I like his family. I've not been taken with the individual episode plots thus far. The victim of the week plots.
Well,
that's just standard for the beginning.
Episode 1 and 2.
We don't know that yet.
Episode 1 and 2, I agree with you. But episode 3 was less of a victim of the week and it was setup. because they literally said, we'll raise a sacrifice instead of just finding one. And so they're putting this girl through all these traumatic experiences to show her, like, your mom's not going to answer her phone when you call her when you're kidnapped. And to set this up. So I see what you're saying. And
the payoff better be worth it. You can do all the setup you want. It doesn't matter if your payoff.
I'm just saying that I don't think the third episode counted as victim of the week since it is setting up to something else.
It's still focusing on the victims.
I don't think that this show is going to be victim of the week at all. There was too much happening in the opening. Plus,
we'll see.
That's just Rider doesn't really do that anymore as much. they shift away from the victim of the week to overarching plots
to varying degrees of success.
Yeah, we had last year.
The year before that.
Well, the year before that was good.
No, the year before that was 0-1.
I'm talking about the last shows I watched.
Okay. 0-1.
Yeah, but before that we had Zio and Bill. We all know how that went.
Another thing I don't like, the villains.
Yeah, they haven't really left any
I'm
impression.
not sold on these guys yet.
Nope.
Which ones?
All of them.
Phoenix or Deadman?
All. Huh?
Who?
Phoenix.
Who?
The Brothers Organization.
We don't know that they're villains.
They're villains.
We don't know that yet.
Plus, the Foundation.
Yes, they very well could be, but no, I'm talking about the Deadmans.
Something is a little bit too sinister going on with Phoenix, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially as we're coming.
Yes, I wouldn't be.
Hold on, because we're coming into an anniversary season. FX
Foundation X. Yes, I see what you did there.
So big, they're just so big. The episodes like this. I want them to do it, and don't be comics.
But they're not villains yet, so I am only talking about Deadmans. I'm only talking about the episodes we've seen thus far.
Yeah, I'm with Jacob. The Deadmans have not sold me.
I am not a fan of their performances.
I'm not a fan of their characters.
And I'm not a fan of the... Well, that's a big part of it, is the performances.
My whole thing is just like, we have not spent enough time with them. We've gotten, just a couple of scenes here.
But in 3 episodes, we've been sold on the entire family.
Every time we've...
Because you're spending all the time with them.
Every time we've seen them, they've just been very underwhelming.
Yeah.
I just don't think they...
That one guy, yelled once in the first episode. I really don't like what's her name?
Christina?
Aguilera, thank you. She's really bratty, and the physicality just isn't there.
Yeah, you feel like she'd be more... her voice is extremely whiny, she's really bratty, but...
Her voice is high.
But it's not that it's high, it's...
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
It's not pitch, it's tone.
It's because of that. I feel like...
But yet she's so...
Her physicality is very passive.
Yeah.
She just kind of stands there.
I think...
She talks like she cares so much, and then her body language is, I don't give a shit.
I really enough think if they would have casted somebody older for that role, it might have worked better.
No.
Or just some...
I don't think age is the problem.
No, I think age is honestly... Hold on. I think age is honestly the thing that's sort of keeping me a little bit from her. If she's supposed to be in charge of this whole thing, I would expect somebody older.
But I don't know if
she's in charge.
No, she's not in charge. She's the guy who's in charge. It's
a stone tablet?
Is her fiance.
She's the first woman, but I like the idea of her being younger, immature, bratty, and just wants to get what she wants. But she's not
doing enough to actually get to there yet.
She's not putting everything into that performance.
The performance isn't there for
like
where the character is.
If we panned back after one of the sand monsters is destroyed and she's stomping her feet and just angry. No, she seems
or if she's doing anything other than just sitting around or standing around.
She's like, you want to be a pick-me girl, go for it. But you gotta give 100% on the pick-me girl. Because it really sounds like she wants to be a pick-me girl.
And I feel the same way about the other two.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen them do anything except just stand there and talk.
Like, even when one of them showed up in his monster form, he spent half of the scene sitting, polishing his gun while the monster fought Revice.
Yeah. My whole thing is just
not taken with either performance.
With them, I can't give anything on them because we just have not spent any time with them yet.
Well, again, this is first impressions.
Yeah, it's just like first impression. I can't really give as much of a thing on them as I can on the family because that's where all of our attention's been. Or with Phoenix because George made such an impression and I knew immediately. But even then, it's just like, what are you going to end up saying about these characters?
What are the odds that? Ooh, I just had a thought. What's that? You were telling me before we started recording the images of the Kamen Rider Evil were released, what if it's the guy who was demoted?
A lot of people are thinking that. And I sort of hope that it is, to be quite honest. Because that guy came in aggy as hell.
Yeah. He had that big speech with his flourishing cape.
He tried to...
He showed his new gaming PC, but...
He didn't put it together right.
No.
Error 404.
He spilled coolant on it.
Yeah, we have gotten some of the other... we got in the second rider and gotten a couple more forms as of time writing this. I really like how Evil looks. I like that color scheme. That black, silver...
Yeah, I like that color.
Teal. Or seafoam.
I was saying teal.
It looks like blotches of paint.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, so
even the eyes, the way the eyes are like kind of like spattering up.
Yeah. I like it.
So I'm really waiting to see it looks like ink splatter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
ink blots.
I'm really enjoying.
What do you see?
A spider.
Evil. A spider.
I'm talking about a shirt.
Oh. That's fair. See it back.
I see it right now.
Yeah,
I see a toy.
I am excited for what is going to end up happening. With
I
this
am
show.
cautiously optimistic.
And I say that because Saber was just such a massive, astronomical disappointment in terms of story. It was so bad, and I didn't care about a single person.
I haven't finished Saber, so
I
keep catching.
I'll know when the time comes to review it.
I've heard there are people who like Saber, so
there's people who like it. There's people who like every season.
Yeah, it's just like, but that one is just there's nothing there. There's no hope. There's no joy. But this one is just like, all right. I feel like I've gotten a better sense of this show in the first 3 episodes than I got in like the first, pretty much all of Saber.
Fair enough. No,
we got to the last episode and we're like, what are we doing here?
The characters didn't matter in this show. God, that review is going to be a painful one. It's going to be bad.
Oh,
Revice has its problems. It has its strengths, but let's just hope they lean more towards the latter than the former.
Yeah.
I just hope it's good.
That's the main thing.
Whatever you do, I hope it's good.
With the new, I feel like whenever they end up bringing like a brand new writer into something, he's just like, all right, I'm going to actually write something good. Remember, Inoue wrote Jetman. And then he wrote garbage. But he wrote Jetman first, and that was good. So we can only hope. Having a new one, some fresh blood coming in, it will get something good out of this. So yeah.
We shall see. Those are our first impressions on Kamen Rider Revice.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Also just occurred to me, there's no ending sequence this time.
Yeah, we don't have an ending song at all right now. Because Zenkaichi doesn't have one either.
I'm glad they went back to that.
Same. That was a terrible decision that they made, Saber.
Anyway.
Just didn't make sense.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I can't talk anymore. Follow us on all of the things. And we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.